Hello. J'avais pas vu qu'ils étaient là. Ah, je suis pas du tout en arrière. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel? Hop. On est là, je vais peut-être arrêter de filmer les collègues. J'ai fait 2 plans. Allez, un peu de sérieux. Hop là. Qui dit que ça devient gênant? En l'occurrence Emma? Oui, pardon. Qui dit que ça devient gênant? Non, c'était une télé en rigolant. Ah oui. Yeah. Oh, écoute, on fait de la com externe, c'est très bien. Et ben voilà, je suis un peu observée ce jour. On peut même faire regarder un espèce d'autoportrait. I'm going to stay here. Yeah, and I'm live, so yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Alors, ça
Portez. Ça. Présentez. Ça.
laisser respirer les gardes et pas se protéger.
Ah ouais. Alors, il faut que ma consoeur recule aussi, s'il vous plaît.
Ça va être le bazar. Enfin, c'est un peu limite. Là, on voit les photographes dans la caméra. C'est... Là, on va faire.
Just one step. Il faut qu'on puisse voir le PR arriver quand même.
Présentez.
Non, pas sauter. Oui, il faut qu'on puisse le voir arriver.
Je sais, mais
On essaye d'avoir une image, mais...
sinon, on vous a vu tout comme des images.
J'essaie de faire le pôle aussi.
Portez. Sabre.
Pardon. Ouais, ça sent beaucoup mieux.
C'est un peu la pression d'être. Ce sera mieux, Maïs.
Pardon.
C'est mal. C'est bien.
Bouge, c'était ça. Merci.
Your Majesties, Monsieur le Président, Madame Macron, ministres, sénateurs, députés, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, it is my pleasure to welcome the Majesties King Frederik and Queen Mary, His Excellency President Emmanuel Macron and Madame Brigitte Macron to the official opening of the Economic Forum. It is only fitting.
Et c'est tout à fait adapté que nous nous retrouvions ici au Palais Brongniart.
Long associated with trade, commerce and enterprise. Just as this building has historically been a hub for people,
A été un lieu de rencontre et une plaque tournante où les personnes et les idées se sont rencontrées, eh bien, il nous sert aujourd'hui de plateforme pour approfondir
and societies working towards a more resilient and innovative Europe. Denmark and France have a strong tradition of working together, And today, we take that collaboration one step further. This economic forum provides a platform to explore how two nations can join forces in key industries from healthcare and energy to defense, creating new opportunities for investment, innovation, and shared success. It is now my honor to invite Her Excellency Ambassador of Denmark to France, Hanne Fugl Eskjær, to deliver her opening remarks. Ambassador Eskjær, we are so grateful to you for your continued efforts in promoting our shared values and strategic collaboration. Please join me in welcoming the ambassador to the stage.
Your Majesties, Monsieur le Président, Madame Macron, Ministres, Sénateurs et Députés, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to this grand opening of the Economic Forum, arranged on the occasion of the Danish state visit. This visit is a celebration of our historic, strong and close ties between France and Denmark. And it also presents a unique possibility to deepen our strategic partnership even further across the public and private sector. At a time of major geopolitical upheaval, our collaboration is crucial. At the time where we face challenges, it demands joint and competitive solutions. Therefore, our forum is dedicated to our European partnership, a resilient future. Resilience is not just about bouncing back and reacting. Rather, it's about building partnerships that are strong, sustainable, and flexible in times of change, now and in the future. Both France and Denmark are home to a vibrant business community, supported by visionary leaders and well-performing companies. I see many of you in the room today. Together, we continuously develop our strength within renewable energy, modern defense solutions, and at the same time ensure an effective healthcare system. So with this visit and this economic forum, we underline that we are able and willing to adapt, innovative, and work together in times of uncertainty. That we are taking the necessary steps to ensure that our economies remain robust and sustainable for future generations. And we celebrate our common historical ties, while at the same time explore new ways of cooperation and partnership. I wish you all an engaging and fruitful conversations today, but also in the weeks and months and years ahead. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. And now it's with deep respect and privilege that I now invite to the stage His Majesty King Frederik of Denmark, whose esteemed leadership and dedication to fostering Denmark's international relations continue to serve as a foundation for strengthening our global partnerships. Please join me in welcoming His Majesty the King to the stage.
Merci beaucoup pour l'accueil. Monsieur le Président, Madame Macron, ministres, Mesdames et Messieurs, I will now change into English. But the joy is just as deep felt as had I spoken in French. But today, we mark not only the deep historical ties between our two nations, but also our shared commitment to create a stronger and more resilient Europe for the future. The attendance of numerous leading businesses from both France and Denmark speak for itself. We find ourselves in a new global context. Uncertain times, emerging security threats, and climate change place the need for strategic partnership at a historic high. Fortunately, France and Denmark have a strong tradition of working together to build sustainable solutions and shaping the European project. Today, we focus on 3 key areas that define resilience in the 21st century: defense, health, and energy. In defense, we stand united in our commitment to restoring peace in Europe. The current situation requires us to strengthen interoperability, invest in cybersecurity, and work together to safeguard our shared values. France's leadership in European defense and Denmark's expertise in high-tech defense solutions create a vulnerable synergy that can help us to ensure a secure and stable Europe. In healthcare, both Denmark and France recognize the urgent need to strengthen our systems in response to demographic shifts, the rise of chronic diseases, and the rapid evolution of digital solutions. Our collaboration in digital health, data-driven patient care, and medical research is not just an opportunity, but a fast track to building the more resilient healthcare systems. This is about expanding capacity and ensuring high-quality care for citizens in both our countries. Energy remains the cornerstone of resilience, sustainability, and security. France's ambitious goals in offshore wind, power-to-X, and district heating align seamlessly with Denmark's leadership in renewable energy solutions. By combining our expertise, we can accelerate Europe's green transition, reduce dependence on external energy sources, and build a robust, interconnected energy system that serves future generations. This is not just about economic growth. It is about securing a cleaner, healthier, and safer planet for our children and their children. This morning, the Queen and I visited Manufacture des Gobelins. Here we had the privilege of cutting the strings of 2 out of 16 remarkable brand new tapestries that showcase contemporary Danish art through the lens of traditional French craftsmanship. The scale of this decorative art commission is unprecedented. We are talking about 108 woven square meters in total. An extraordinary accomplishment, considering that each square meter requires a full year of dedicated work by a single weaver. Each intricate detail is woven with a bigger picture in mind, both figuratively but also literally. Now, this room is full of brilliant minds from the defense, healthcare, and energy sector in France and Denmark. You represent the bigger picture. And if we manage to weave your skills together, I'm confident that we can further strengthen our bilateral ties and build a resilient Europe for the future. Je vous remercie.
Thank you, Your Majesty, for this inspirational speech. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now my distinct honor to welcome to the stage His Excellency Emmanuel Macron, President of the French Republic. President Macron has been a strong partner to Denmark, an advocate for a strong, competitive and united Europe. His leadership continues to shape the future European collaboration and resilience. Monsieur le Président, we are truly honored by your presence here today. The stage is yours.
Vos Majestés, Mesdames, Messieurs, Monsieur le Premier ministre, Mesdames, Messieurs les ministres, Madame l'ambassadrice, Monsieur l'ambassadeur, Mesdames, Messieurs les parlementaires, Mesdames, Messieurs les dirigeants d'entreprise, Mesdames, Messieurs en vos grades et qualités, chers amis. C'est un honneur, Votre Majesté, de vous recevoir à Paris et de voir l'amitié que vous portez à la France, à notre langue, nous l'avons encore vu hier, pour cette visite d'État historique. Et de vous avoir l'un et l'autre à nos côtés est un immense privilège pour mon épouse et moi. Et en effet, être parmi vous aujourd'hui pour cette réunion est, dans le moment que nous sommes en train de vivre, particulièrement important. Alors, m'inscrivant dans les pas de Votre Majesté à l'instant, je voudrais dire quelques mots sur l'importance des sujets que vous allez évoquer aujourd'hui et du chemin commun qui peut être le nôtre pour assurer une plus grande indépendance de notre Europe par ses entreprises, ses projets d'investissement, ses politiques publiques. Ça fait en effet plusieurs années que nous croyons, et je crois pouvoir dire que le Danemark et la France sont unis sur ce chemin, dans un agenda de souveraineté, d'autonomie stratégique, d'indépendance. Parce que nous avons vécu dans notre chair les conséquences de la dépendance excessive. Et au fond, si je prends les 3 sujets que vous avez choisis pour votre journée, ce sont 3 illustrations parfaites. Souvenez-vous, ça paraît très loin, mais c'était au fond hier, il y a 5 ans. Il y a 5 ans, nos pays vivaient ensemble la pandémie du Covid-19. Et nous avons vécu dans nos pays les conséquences de la dépendance, les manques de masques, les manques de telle ou telle molécule. Et nous avons tous ensemble aussi vécu le risque d'une trop grande dépendance lorsque, 1 an plus tard, nous sommes arrivés en situation de pouvoir faire un vaccin. Et je dois dire, sans une Union européenne forte, nous n'aurions pas vacciné dans nos pays. Parce que notre système de santé s'était ainsi structuré que nous avions créé des dépendances irréparable en quelques semaines avec d'autres géographies. Et même nos meilleurs alliés, et nous n'avons peut-être pas suffisamment entendu à l'époque les alertes, dans ces moments-là, ont préféré leurs intérêts aux nôtres. Et alors même que nous avions laissé la grammaire d'un monde ouvert fonctionner, lorsqu'il a fallu construire le vaccin, les États-Unis d'Amérique ont dit « je vais réserver tel et tel ingrédient, telle et telle molécule aux États-Unis avant de livrer l'Europe. Et nos amis indiens, qui sont des partenaires formidables en matière de santé, nous ont dit « je vais d'abord livrer mes propres doses et m'occuper de moi avant de m'occuper de mes partenaires européens ou africains ». Nous avons payé le coût d'une dépendance excessive en matière de santé. Quelques mois plus tard, nous sortions à peine du Covid. La guerre revenant sur le sol européen, avec l'agression russe en Ukraine, nous avons vécu le coût de la dépendance énergétique. Nous avions un modèle formidable qui fonctionnait pour grande partie, la France dépendant moins que d'autres à ce titre, d'un gaz peu cher qui venait de Russie. Et les hypothèses de base étaient connues. Et dans les forums d'affaires, quelques années plus tôt, quand je disais « soyons prudents sur les gazoducs qui arrivent, ne soyons pas trop dépendants de tel ou tel », on me disait « vous n'êtes pas raisonnable, il faut baisser les coûts de production ». En quelques semaines, il a fallu s'adapter et apprendre à produire en Europe sans l'énergie à bas coût qui venait de Russie. Et les dernières semaines nous ont montré ce qu'était le coût de la dépendance en matière de défense à l'égard des États-Unis d'Amérique. Allié formidable depuis tant de décennies. Mais je ne vais pas le dire à une audience danoise, allié qui peut susciter des troubles par ses déclarations, ses intentions et ses priorités. Et rien ne nous dit que dans 5 ans, dans 10 ans, dans 15 ans, les priorités américaines devenant peut-être plus asiatiques qu'européennes, lorsqu'il faudra livrer tel ou tel matériel, elles nous diront, en regardant les Européens, ça n'est pas ma priorité, je ne peux pas le faire aujourd'hui. Les 3 sujets que vous avez choisis illustrent parfaitement le coût de la dépendance. Et je crois que ce que nous devons poursuivre pour nos 2 pays, et plus largement pour notre Europe, c'est un agenda de souveraineté, d'indépendance, qui n'est pas un agenda d'autarcie, mais qui est de dire on veut avoir des partenaires, nous croyons dans un monde ouvert, mais on veut pouvoir choisir ces partenaires, mais ne jamais en dépendre. C'est pourquoi en matière de santé, il nous faut investir davantage, et il nous faut regarder dans toutes les chaînes de valeur comment bâtir des solutions européennes. Je ne vais pas le dire ici, nous avons de part et d'autre, Novo Nordisk, Sanofi, tant de start-up, des champions dans ce domaine. Il nous faut continuer à bâtir ces partenariats, à évidemment produire à travers le monde, mais nous assurer que les solutions européennes sont bien consolidées, que nous n'avons pas pour tel ou tel médicament, telle ou telle molécule, et je sais que nos ministres y sont attachés, une dépendance qui nous mettrait en situation de danger. Pour l'énergie, je parle sous le contrôle de Fatih Birol, qui est sans doute notre meilleur expert, nous avons tous les moyens de réduire nos dépendances. Sobriété, renouvelable, nucléaire. Nous avons la possibilité d'abord d'économiser davantage d'énergie par l'innovation, de produire sur le sol européen, par des solutions européennes, davantage d'énergie décarbonée, compétitive. Et au fond, il nous faut réconcilier l'objectif climatique, l'objectif de souveraineté, l'objectif de compétitivité dans les politiques qui sont les nôtres. C'est l'agenda que nous poursuivons pour la neutralité carbone 2050, c'est celui-là qu'il faut tenir. Et là aussi, nous avons ici beaucoup d'entreprises innovantes et de solutions, et je souhaite que les partenariats soient encore accrus pour permettre de répondre dans nos 2 pays, et plus largement dans notre Europe, à une réponse d'indépendance pérenne. Et en matière de défense, là aussi, nous avons des capacités. Et je souhaite que les entreprises qui sont ici présentes, et je vous félicite, Votre Majesté, pour la qualité de la délégation qui est la vôtre, puissent bâtir des partenariats et qu'au fond, nous puissions commencer à utiliser les instruments mis en place par l'Europe avec ReArmEU pour acheter ensemble et européen. Car il ne s'agit pas simplement de dépenser plus d'argent en matière de défense. Si nous continuons pour beaucoup d'entre nous à acheter trop américain ou sud-coréen, non. Il faut que ce réinvestissement dans notre défense et notre sécurité signifie aussi investir dans l'innovation, la base industrielle technologique de défense européenne, et donc produire en Europe, pour pouvoir y créer des emplois, mais aussi nous assurer que nous avons des solutions qui sont soutenables, pérennes sur notre sol, et qui répondent à nos priorités. Et donc dans tous les domaines capacitaires, il nous faut en effet concevoir des programmes communs européens, acheter ensemble, et donner une profondeur de marché à une solution de défense européenne. C'est l'objectif que nous devons nous fixer. And in this regard, I consider that we have a very important agenda where competitiveness and defense and security work closely together. And in order to deliver such an agenda, what we need is precisely to deliver a big acceleration of what we have on the table. We know what we have to do. Simplification first. If we want to accelerate, we have to simplify. If you take health, energy, defense, but so many other sectors, just compare the timeline between the US and Europe. When this is 3 months on the other side of the ocean, it could be 1 year on this side. Our complexity is a killer of our competitiveness, but as well our ability to deliver a clear and efficient agenda. Simplification. Second, the deepening of the single market. This is another way to simplify. As long as we have to deal with 27 different regulations, we lose time, but we don't provide to your companies the relevant domestic market. If we want to be competitive with China and US, we have to make our domestic market competitive, meaning really integrated. And this is where the deepening of the single market is absolutely critical, for instance, on digital. But to create an actual single market on energy is absolutely critical as well. It's not the case by design. It was not part of the single market originally, but this is now a necessity because if we want to be competitive and decarbonized, we have to create an actual European single market, because what we want to just to deliver, this is the free movement of the decarbonized low-cost electrons. And this is what you need for your companies. This is why the deepening of the single market is absolutely key in this competitiveness agenda. Third, we need more investments. If you take AI, healthcare, defense, clean tech, and if you compare the level of investment in the US and in Europe, there is in fact nothing comparable. We are more slow and we invest definitely less. And we need much more public and private investment. This is why we have to reconsider the size of our budget, and we have to provide more flexibilities, as we started to do on defense and security, but to invest much more on these pillars of the growth and our independence, because this is in this decade, everything is being reshaped. If we lose this window of opportunity, we will be out of the game on clean tech, AI, defense and security, and health. This is now we have to invest much more money. But at the same time, we speak about as well private investment. And this is why the Capital Market Union agenda is so important. If we want to be at the right scale and the right speed, definitely we have to keep the savings we do have on our continent. Just imagine. You have much more savings on the European soil than you have in the US side. The problem is that we invest this money in bonds. And for a third of these savings, they go to finance the equities in the US. So the solution is in our hands. We have to flexibilize solvency and Basel as regulations just to be pari passu with the US. When they don't implement, for some banks and some sectors, these regulations which are a killer to reallocate part of the savings on the equity and the financing of innovation, just let's resynchronize our system. And we have to build this capital market union to be sure that we allocate these savings in the right geographies and the right sectors. And the final point is we have as well to preserve the level playing field of the European market. And when I spoke about speed, investment, it's part of this level playing field. But just look at what we are doing today. We are the unique place of the world where there is no preference for the local production. You have a Buy American Act, you have a super protected Chinese market, but we are just an open market, which is the only one in the world to implement World Trade Organization's roadmap. And it's not sustainable. And as long as we just increase permanently the level of requirements we have for our companies, our farmers and our industrials, and at the same time we open the market for the products and goods which are produced with much lower standards, this is just a killer for our capacity to produce. And it's not conceived by design in our Europe, because our Europe was conceived, I would say, with an internal perspective. Just create a single market and avoid the distortions between our 27, sometimes 28, different markets. But we never conceived our capacity to protect these markets just to be pari passu with the rest of the world. If we want to deliver the competitiveness agenda, we have to preserve the level playing field of our companies, and we have to learn to protect some categories, to have clearly a Buy European Act and a European preference and a protection of the European contents in the critical areas. And I don't speak just vis-à-vis China, and I don't speak just vis-à-vis this US administration, because a lot of people in Europe refuse just to see what the Inflation Reduction Act decided by a well-known administration. It was at that time President Biden, but it was just a killer for the clean tech in Europe. And it clearly damaged a lot of our value chain and the integration of the value chain between the US and Europe. So we have to be lucid, we have to be much more robust as well, and we have to deliver this competitiveness agenda, which is very important for health, energy and defense. Voilà, mesdames et messieurs, les quelques convictions que je voulais partager avec vous au début de cette journée, en remerciant le Danemark pour sa contribution à la croissance et l'attractivité de la France. Vos entreprises sont présentes en France et fortes. Ce sont 400 filiales d'entreprises danoises implantées en France, 40 000 personnes employées par des groupes emblématiques, Novo Nordisk, William Demant, Carlsberg, DSV Group et beaucoup d'autres ici présents. Et durant la dernière décennie, le Danemark a réalisé plus de 270 projets d'investissement et créé près de 6 000 emplois. Mais nous avons la conviction que nous pouvons faire encore davantage, et c'est pourquoi, à l'issue de cette journée, vous serez aussi invités à l'événement Choose France que nous organisons au mois de mai prochain à Versailles, comme chaque année, qui est pour le 19 mai prochain au château de Versailles, ce moment où nous poursuivrons ce travail pour l'attractivité française et aussi pour bâtir plus de projets entre nos deux pays, permettre à vos entreprises de continuer d'investir en France, permettre aux partenaires français qui sont ici présents de continuer à développer des projets communs avec vous. Je ne serai pas plus long, je vais ici vous redire en tout cas ma confiance. Il y a une formidable capacité d'innovation dans nos deux pays. Il y a des valeurs partagées et communes. Et au fond, dans ce moment où ces valeurs sont menacées, y compris par des alliés qu'on pensait les plus historiques, je crois qu'elles retrouvent de leur force et de leur sel. Et nous ne nous manquons pas. Et à chaque fois que les temps sont difficiles, d'un côté ou de l'autre, nous sommes côte à côte. Ne négligez jamais ce point. Il vaut beaucoup de ce qui parfois décide d'une décision d'investissement. Et il montre que habiter en Europe signifie quelque chose. Et que la relation entre le Danemark et la France signifie quelque chose. Je le rappelais hier soir, nos deux pays sont parmi les très rares d'Europe qui ne se sont jamais fait la guerre. Et quand les vents mauvais soufflent au Danemark, la France est là. Et quand les vents mauvais ont soufflé en France, le Danemark était là à nos côtés. Ce lien d'amitié à travers les siècles, c'est en quelque sorte le terreau le plus fertile sur lequel vous avez à bâtir. C'est celui qui existe entre des peuples, entre des femmes et des hommes, et que l'histoire rend encore plus fort aujourd'hui. Alors vive le Danemark, vive la France et vive l'amitié entre nos deux pays. Bonne journée de travail.
Thank you, Mr. President, for this very insightful and inspiring speech, and for welcoming the business delegation to France. We now move to the signing ceremony, a key moment that signifies our strong relation and reinforces the commitment between our two nations. Today, we will sign two government agreements, a strategic partnership agreement between Denmark and France on enhanced bilateral cooperation, and an agreement between Denmark and France on the delivery of Mistral missiles to the Danish army. First, the strategic partnership between Denmark and France on enhanced bilateral cooperation will be signed by His Excellency Minister for Foreign Affairs Lars Løkke Rasmussen for Denmark and His Excellency Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs Jean-Noël Barrot for France. Your Excellencies, please enter the stage. This agreement will elevate the relationship between France and Denmark to a strategic partnership, reinforcing the commitment between our two nations to deepen cooperation in vital areas such as security, defense, climate, health, and digitalization.
Signature d'un partenariat stratégique entre le gouvernement de la République française et le gouvernement danois pour le renforcement des relations bilatérales. Le signataire pour la partie française est M. Jean-Noël Barrot, ministre de l'Europe et des Affaires étrangères, et le signataire pour la partie danoise est M. Lars Løkke Rasmussen, ministre des Affaires étrangères.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellencies. And we now proceed to the signing of the second government-to-government agreement between Denmark and France on acquisition of military equipment, specifically the delivery of French Mistral missiles to the Danish Army. To sign the agreement, I would like to invite Peter Michael Nielsen, Deputy National Armaments Director for Denmark, and Major General Emmanuel Laporte for France. Please enter the stage.
Signature de l'ordre d'acquisition en application de l'arrangement cadre Mistral. Le signataire pour la partie française est l'ingénieur général de l'armement Emmanuel Laporte, de la Direction générale de l'armement, et le signataire pour la partie danoise est M. Peter Michael Nielsen, directeur adjoint de l'armement national.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. The signing of these agreements marks an important milestone in the relationship between our nations. And we will now proceed to the business part of the opening ceremony. It is my pleasure to invite Director of Danish Industry, Mr. Lars Sandahl Sørensen, to deliver his remarks. Please join me in welcoming Lars Sandahl Sørensen to the stage.
Monsieur le Président, Madame Macron, Your Majesties, Ministers, honored guests, and dear colleagues, it's a true privilege to stand here before you. President Macron, on behalf, allow me to be direct, and on behalf of Business Europe and the Danish business community, thank you. Thank you for quickly and swift standing up to the challenge, gathering Europe with your leadership, big countries, small countries. This is a generational challenge. This is a generational opportunity. So thank you so much for pulling us together and pushing forward. I invite you to pause for a minute, a moment, and reflect on the significance of what we are witnessing right here, right now. Right here, right now. We are witnessing a strong joining of forces in a partnership between a small but significant country and a major influential large country with businesses of all sizes recognizing their strengths in unity rather than in isolation. The world is facing unprecedented geopolitical and societal changes and challenges. No nation by itself, no business by itself can tackle these challenges alone. We need the public and private relationship and cooperation. They demand resilient public-private partnerships where governments and businesses join forces. As partners, you must share common objectives. But much like in private relationships, one must also be prepared to compromise. As partners, you must give and take. Energy, health, and defense are all the three strategic areas that underpin Europe's resilience and autonomy, as already been mentioned. Collaborating in these domains is crucial for securing Europe's position in a rapidly changing and challenging world, with a lot of opportunities for Europe going forward, as well if we grasp the opportunities and chances. France and Denmark play a pivotal role in leading these efforts and setting example for others to follow. Today stirs excitement, but also reminds us of the enormous tasks ahead. The journey is daunting, yet filled with promise and opportunities. And there was not one sentence in what the French president just pinned out as the three crucial areas that we need in order to be successful as Europe. We totally agree, and we have to deliver, and we can deliver standing together. So thank you for putting us in this position in Europe. We have to show it. We have the potential to impact millions of lives across Europe through our committed partnerships. This immense responsibility is one we embrace because we know we won't face it alone. As humans, we find comfort in having support. We are herd animals in a way. That is the essence of partnership, pulling together. We as businesses want to be part of that solution and push forward. This state visit is not just a milestone in our bilateral relations, it's also a call to action, to do. I urge everyone present here and the many others who are gathering with this ambition to seize this opportunity that this partnership between France and Denmark really truly represents. I urge everyone to seize the opportunities to push forward and create steps, real steps, to transform our vision into reality by harnessing our collective strength, by giving some and taking some. Together we can truly create a sustainable, secure and prosperous Europe for the future generations. Thanks for being part of that effort, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sørensen. And we are now proceeding with the signing of 3 business-to-business agreements, highlighting our commercial relations within the sectors of energy, health and defense. First on stage, we will witness an exchange of a memorandum of understanding between European Energy and Total Energy and their strengthened partnership within renewable energy in France and Denmark. This partnership will further accelerate the green journey between our countries. Please welcome to the stage Knud Erik Andersen, CEO from European Energy, and Olivier Chounier, President from Total Energy. European Energy and Total Energy have signed a memorandum of understanding in which the purpose is cooperation on the next offshore wind tender in Denmark, as well as exploring other opportunities on renewable energy. Next on stage, an exchange of a memorandum of understanding on a pilot project between Cortrium APS and Ramsay Santé. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Philip Jørgensen, CEO, Cortrium APS, and Mr. Jérôme Brice, CEO, Ramsay Santé. Cortrium and Ramsay Santé have signed a memorandum of understanding in which the purpose is to work towards a longer collaboration where the Ramsay hospitals will work with Cortrium service to help cardiac patients get diagnosed faster while freeing up resources, help more patients and provide more care in general. The next steps will be the implementation of pilot projects demonstrating these benefits. And we have now come to the final agreement. It is an exclusive agreement between Milestones and Wintix. To mark this occasion, I'm pleased to invite Mr. Thomas Jensen, CEO, Milestone System, and Mr. Mathias Hollier, CEO and co-founder of Wintix, to the stage. Wintix joined forces with Milestone Systems to develop and train current and future AI models for traffic management, mobility, and security. Ladies and gentlemen, with the signature of the government-to-government agreements and the announcement of the business-to-business agreement, we have taken meaningful steps towards the strengthening of this partnership between France and Denmark in key strategic areas. And to mark this occasion, it is my great honor to invite Their Excellencies Minister for Foreign Affairs Lars Løkke Rasmussen, Minister for Europe Jean-Noël Barrot, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defense Troels Lund Poulsen, Deputy National Armaments Director Peter Michael Nielsen, and Major General Emmanuel Laporte to the stage for a picture together with His Majesty King Frederik and His Excellency President Emmanuel Macron to the stage for an official photography with the representatives of today's signing. What you've witnessed today are the initial signings of the state visits, with more to follow in the coming days. In total, 12 business agreements covering defense, health and energy, along with 4 government-to-government agreements on culture, health and energy will be signed during this visit. And before we continue with the next part of the program, we would like to take a moment to express our deepest appreciation for Their Majesties King Frederik and Queen Mary of Denmark and His Excellency President Emmanuel Macron and Madame Macron for honoring us with their presence today. As they take leave, may I kindly ask you to rise as we bid farewell. A big merci for your support. We now turn to the second part of today's program, creating resilience via partnerships, beginning with our first discussion, an essential conversation on Europe's ability to remain